Uh, my name is Mrs. Onyegbula. I live in Germany for quite a long time. I studied here in Germany and I worked in the Nigerian embassy. So in relation with our connection with the Jews, I heard the news, or rather, I was told that, which I didn't take much into consideration at that time. That was in 1985. So I was passing in Bad Godesberg in Germany. We are near our embassy, Nigerian embassy. So I decided, I said, why are many people, all the time there's a policeman at the gate of Jewish embassy and a policeman as well. What's happening? So I must go in and see why they are guided this way, even since after the war with the uh, Arab world, that they're free. Why should I be guided? So I entered. The police allowed me to enter. I showed him my card from the embassy. Then I met the soldier. The soldier allowed me to pass. And then finally I landed at the reception of the embassy. Somebody came, I don't know him, just a worker there. He said, asked me what I needed. I said, I want information material from Jerusalem also. He asked me whether I was going to Jerusalem. I said, no, I'm curious. I want to know something about Jerusalem. Because I've only read the Bible, I don't understand much. So he told me to wait, and there came a diplomat, most probably a Jewish officer who is working in the embassy, in their embassy. So he came and met me and looked at me and said, welcome. I said, yes. He said, what do you want? I said, I want information material about Jerusalem in particular. Then he asked me, where are you coming from? Showed him my card. They said, okay, you're from Nigerian embassy. Which part of Nigeria are you coming from? I looked at him and said, well, in the east. Then he said, are you Igbo? I said, yes. He said, then you are my sister. Well, a little bit, I said, okay, naturally, I'm your sister. Any human being is a brother or sister. I took it lightly. I didn't know much about where we have arrived now in connection with the relation, the Igbos and Jews. So he took me to his office and I sat down. Then he told me, here are the information materials. This is Jerusalem. He told me many stories. I said, yes, I'm following you because I'm interested in reading the Bible. I understand most of the things that the Bible said. He said, yes. He said to me, did I understand why he said I am his sister? I said, no, he said because the Igbos are Hebrews. And I looked at him and I said, well, if it is so. He told me yes. Now, during the time of the Exodus, when they were moving away from Egypt, that the Jews, if I read my Bible well, that the Jews were many, the Israelites who lived in Egypt. And at that time in Egypt, it wasn't as mixture of white and black, but there were black Jews. Rather, Egyptians, that they were black. And I was shocked. Well, as a novice, a student at that time, I didn't know much as I don't have known now. So I was listening to the story. Then he told me that when Moses were told to take the Israelites back, freeing them from slavery in Egypt, they should go back to their land. So many followed him, but the obstinate ones turned their back and said, how many days is it going to take us to go back on foot? What's happening with children, wives? And he told them, well, estimating to be 40 years. They damned the consequences and went north of Africa and scattered. So at that time, they were peasants anyway. I mean, nobody understand what the person is talking or discussion. So they were talking with the hand and leg, trying to make sense. So, but actually, when they say, but where do you people come in? You're many. How are you coming in troops? They said, we're Hebrew. So the man was telling me this. That's how you got the word Igbo. And I was looking at him and I said, He said, yes, because people didn't know how to pronounce Hebrew. They only had the sound and they said Igbo. So they took this name and this name spread. That the Hebrews of Jerusalem and the Igbos of Nigeria and all other places. He didn't mention the other places, the name of the country, but he mentioned Nigeria. And he told me they are brothers and that we have common traditions. That's what he told me in 1985. So he gave me information material. I greeted him and I took it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Lightly. I didn't take it serious. So I took the information material. I was interested to go to Jerusalem and see because we sing a song in the Catholic Church, Jerusalem, my happy home. So everybody thinks it's in heaven, not on earth. In any case, when I came here newly in 1965, my cousin, no, rather my uncle, was the ambassador of Nigeria. So he took me and his wife and 3 children to Jerusalem. I've been there, as a student, looking for. We went to the rabbi, we saw what they were doing on Saturday, no job, no market, not everything is calm. We stayed in the hotel for 5 days, I think. Then we moved. That was the first time. But I knew, here is my Bible. I'm a Jehovah's Witness. I was curious to know more about the Bible. That's why I joined the Jehovah's Witness. Like I said on that day, my uncle is a bishop of Umuahia, a part of Nigeria. Umuahia is in the eastern state of Nigeria. He's a young man, the youngest bishop in Africa. At the time he was crowned a bishop. He studied here. He lived with me. So he's not happy with me because I'm reading the Bible. I joined the Jehovah's Witness because they believe, we read our Bible upside down, but that's not true. This Bible is the beginning and the end. Whichever Bible, whichever way you bring it, there's no doubt about it. It is the Word of God. If you put it this way, it's the same. Now, I've gone through it twice. When you were giving your lecture, I was following you step by step, and I was laughing. I wasn't surprised that you came with this message, which you have given us now, because this is the time to the end. And if God says something, it's indelible. You can't clean it. It has to happen. It will come to pass. Jeremiah finished it. If you go from Jeremiah 50 and read down, he will tell you that this particular time, which we are now, maybe next year, maybe 10 years, but the time has arrived. For all what the Bible said, through Christ, will happen. There's no doubt about it. There's no going back. You can't change it. You are seeing them gradually but surely. Now, if you come to the Bible, the message of Jeremiah told you this time is the time the Jews all over the world will come back to where God wants them to stay. And it is going to happen in different forms. You have come. Someone else will come from somewhere, all over the world. He said, they will come back. My people will gather back. But the question is, me and you, we don't know how. We used to ask the people who know the chronology of the Bible from the Jehovah's Witness, and we said, my God, the whole children of Abraham will come together in one country? Why would they say there are too many? The man said, no. I quote him, Brother Priester. He said, gathering them doesn't mean that you will bring them in one room. But wherever they are, they will be known. They'll have their name, they are stamped, because God has said it, and He can't change it. That's what I was taught. And it's true. Like you have come, Nigeria, the Igbos, they are noted. The ones in Haiti noted. In Kenya noted. South Africa noted. All over the world. So that is the gathering of God's people in any part of the world where they are. They come again together and obey the law. Omenan. If they don't obey this Omenan, forget it. They have to go back to square one. There's no going back about it. The Bible has said it, and it is true. I've read the Bible since I joined the Jehovah's Witness since 1994. 1994. We read this in daily, word by word. And sometimes you ask yourself, what's going on? Sometimes you're confused. But people who can explain the chronology of the Bible, when they speak to you, understand. You will know it's true.
So, what you were told at the Israeli embassy in Nigeria in 1985 was confirmed further by my presentation. Everything I said is basically what he told you way back in 1985. Wow.
That's what they said. And funny enough, the Israeli embassy refused at the onset to hire an office in the city, or rather in the capital, Lagos or Abuja. All along, since years, they have been at Enugu, Igbo land. Just excuse me, please. Let me